Hello, love. Welcome to the ChiLOVe Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. Who else is it but me, hoping that all is well with you? This segment is called WTF. So I'm not going to mention any names. So I'm going to call them the Facebook seller and the Facebook buyer. Okay, here we go. So we got this Facebook seller who agreed to sell some shoes to the Facebook buyer. In order to be safe, he agreed to meet him at the police station on 35th and Halsted. Now, for those who don't know, this is the Chicago Public Safety Headquarters. Now, the Facebook seller was being smart, trying to be preventive. So, okay, they met up. The buyer asked the seller to step to his car so his brother could try on the shoes. The seller got to the car, and as he got to the passenger side, some of the windows rolled down, revealing 3 more men inside the vehicle, all wearing ski masks. The brother asked to try on the shoes and began counting the money, letting them know that they got the money, before allegedly trying to grab the shoebox from the victim's hands. Then another car window rolled down, and one of the backseat passengers pointed the gun at the seller and ordered him to drop the shoebox and empty his pockets. After getting the shoes, the buyer drove away. Well, I guess in this case we can call him the stealer. Drove away with his bros and his own ski mask. Now, the entire robbery was, recorded by CPD surveillance cameras. The buyer's face is the same face that's on the profile picture on the Facebook account that contacted the victim about the shoes. And he also owns the car identical to the one used in the robbery. He was arrested on Monday. He is charged with a Class X armed robbery in connection with the July 15th holdup outside of CPD headquarters. He was on probation at the time for a prior felony gun case. The judge held the buyer without bail on the robbery charge and without bail for violating the terms of probation in his gun case. The nature of the act, especially because it was done in front of the headquarters of CPD, was described as brazen. Now, let's just go through this here. So like I mentioned earlier, the seller had a good idea by setting the CPD headquarters as the location. A lot of people do things without any preventive measures or any risk management plan. So in this case, the seller was thinking, how can we get this done and I can make this money and still, have a safe outcome? So what greater place than to do it in front of the police station? So he thought. So that would have been fine and dandy for any civilized person. But the buyer and his crew are clearly under the Savage Act. And in order to be a savage, one does not give a fuck. You have to have that in order to commit the acts that you are committing in broad daylight. Innocent people are dying and being hurt behind it. You have to let a part of you numb up or die out. So now they don't care. And then you have to become an insurgent against society's norms of character. For example, during this process, the public defender had commented on, you know, the act was brazen. The fact that these young men knew that they were coming not in front of a police station period, but the headquarters. And to do something like that, you know, that's against societal norms. If anything, the freaks come out at night. You know, we're kind of used to people committing a lot of crimes after the sun has went down, where there's not a lot of people around and so forth. Because even though you're committing crime, there is a way to do things. So they didn't care. So he didn't just rob the seller of his shoes, but demanded his money and belongings. And like I say, not just in front of any Chicago police station, but the CPD headquarters. Like, that was like a WTF? What the fuck is going on around here? What is going on around here? And it's like, I do understand that in the street world, the lifestyle, you know, their status is very important for them, and they need like the other Chiracians or the other people who live their lifestyle to know like who they are and what they're about, and you know what I'm saying, that boldness. So it's like, I guess you get stripes for that. So this was a situation that, thank God, could have ended in another death, but thankfully it didn't. Thankfully the seller handed over the shoes. It did not indicate if he handed over any money or, you know, any other personal belongings. And the buyer did drive off with his mask. He made sure not to leave anything behind. So that was smart. But in the seller's case, it's like he was like really stuck, because he's at the car. He's in close proximity. You know, he got the box of shoes in his hands. There is a window rolled down with a gun pointing at him, you know, telling him to lower it all. So now, he could have tried to pull a Ricky move from Boys in the Hood. Y'all remember when they rolled up on Ricky and Lord, he turned around, he had that chocolate milk and that little pastry or whatever. And then I think he was chewing on a little pastry, but that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He tried to turn around, run and get away, but he didn't get away. So he could have tried to, you know, pull a Ricky move. Now, the only way that the Ricky move would have possibly been successful was if there was something in his immediate distance, in his immediate proximity for him to like dive behind that would like shield him from the bullets. Or if the shooters had no aim, like so many of them do. A lot of shooters have the guns, but the aim is not proper. So, you know, he could have kind of pulled it in and tried to get away, but luckily, you know, everything went well to where he still has his life. If he has any PTSD or anything behind this or anxiety, you know, hugs and healing to him. Because a lot of people say, well, yeah, you have your life, but it's like, what type of life is this if the quality of living is poor? You know what I'm saying? So hugs and healing to the little seller if he has been traumatized by this event. So, okay, another point. Whole time, the entire incident was being recorded with active officers inside the police station on duty. I have mentioned this before. We need someone to get paid to watch the cameras. We need somebody to watch the cameras that's watching the people. So that in this case, when something immediate is happening, you know, these people don't have a chance to get away because you're on it. Also, I had an idea. There's so many different ways to make a dollar out here, and people out here trying to get it. And Facebook, especially Marketplace, is a good place where people go to. And they thinking that it's a safer place as well because the Facebook accounts are supposed to be verified. So I suggest that the sellers need to add things like as is, no trying on the product, because if he had an understanding with the buyer that you're not going to try on these, no one's going to try on these shoes. Like, I'm going to show you the shoes. You can see what size they are. You need to know what size you are or whoever you're buying it for. And we're going to make this transaction. Bada boom, bada bing. So no trying on the product. Know your size. And transactions will not exceed 3 minutes. Like, these are things that the sellers need to include in their posts, in their profiles, so that people can know what to expect. And putting a time limit like 3 minutes or something on it, because you are picking out the product ahead of time online. You have contacted the seller. You have agreed to the location. So it's not much to talk about. You present the product, you present the money, you make the exchange, you bid each other a good day, love, and you go about your business. Now, also, let's carry on. The buyer helps himself get arrested. Well, the stealer. We're going to call the buyer the stealer now. The stealer helps himself get arrested. Why? Because his picture was on a Facebook account that was verified as his. He also owned the vehicle, and his face was identified on the CPD footage. So, like the feds was telling the Chiracians before, you're helping yourself get caught. And my question again to you is this a cry for help? Because logically speaking, this is not smart. It's not wise at all. You led them like directly to you. You all are leading them direct, like they don't even have to work. You're leading them directly to you. All they got to do is just follow these easy, huge clues that you all are putting out here. So my question to you again is this a cry for help? Does your pride prohibit you from saying the words, I need help? And that is a common thing to where a lot of people do not like to ask for help. I don't like to ask for help. But if you see that you are spiraling down and you are doing all that you can do for yourself based on the knowledge that you have, and there are people or services or anything out here that can help you, it's okay. It's okay to say, I need some help. I'm spiraling out of control. I'm steady jumbling, falling, back and forth. Whatever the situation is. Because this is not logical, and I do understand the definition of the savage, and you do those type of things, but it's like, let's look deeper into the psyche of a savage. Why don't you give a fuck? This is your life. And listen, love, I don't give a fuck. I give a damn. And that's the saving grace. You can't just, 100% wholeheartedly just not give a fuck, in the essence of life. There are some things to where when it's the bottom line, you don't give a fuck, but at least give a damn about something. Goodness gracious. Even if you don't see the light up in you, I'm pretty sure if I was around you, I could find it. But there's some help that's needed and some healing that's needed here. And yes, he has to be held accountable for his actions, because now And it's that phrase, that saying of hurt people. But it's like, is that still acceptable? Your hurt self has probably now traumatized this young man. Now, his friends, on the other hand, have not been identified. Would you like to know why? Because they kept their masks on and they stayed in the car. That's why they're not identified. And also, this little Facebook stiller apparently has some loyalty about himself, which I ain't mad at you for. Which I'm not mad at you for. So, as we know, with all the crime and everything, Superintendent Brown, who we call Cuzzo, has been advocating for harsher reprimands from the judges, especially regarding repeat defenders, and the Facebook stiller has been a repeat defender. And the superintendent feels like the judges and the state's attorney are being, too nice and too kind, too easy on these criminals. So now, Facebook stiller self, you was already on probation. Now you being held without bail. And to that, I say you got to help people help you. You got to help people help you. Because a lot of times, even though you're not calling out for help, a person can tell that you need help by the way that you're talking, by the way that you're moving, by the way that you're not moving. And instead of them waiting on you to ask, they will offer. Or they will let you know that, what they see in you. And, their belief in your ability to change your life around. But you have to help those people help you. You play the lead role in your healing and your rehabilitation. There are people with services, and just people who service themselves to assist. And I know that it could be taboo or it's embarrassing to ask for help or to say that certain things is going on with you. But what you also have to understand is that those same situations are hindering you from becoming your best self. So in that case, you got to put that pride to the side. You got to lay that ego down and say, look at yourself and say, listen, I need some help. And then pray on it and see that you are sent to the proper people to help you. Because I know that there have been times too where people have sought out help and they didn't get help. They got further traumatized, further manipulated, or blamed for whatever happened to them. So I understand. But you got to keep searching and keep, swallowing that pride and doing whatever it is that you need to do to become the best person, the best version of yourself that you could be. Because steady repeating the same licks, especially if you continuously going to jail for them, this may not be for you, love. And you just have to be mindful. Try to be mindful of those who are there to support you and help you. You may not be as social all the time or whatever, but if you all have agreed to come together to work on a plan for you to reach your goal for your betterment, play your part. Play your part. Try to be mindful not to bleed on others or be so hurt and devastated in your situation that you traumatize the people who are there with you and for you. And in this case, let's say the district attorney, that's just like more heat and more weight for her to take because they saying these people do not deserve second chances. And there are a lot of us who believe in the impossible. And that you can, if you put in the work, you can't elevate above your circumstances. You can't elevate above your current mindset. You can't elevate above your pain and betrayal. So, y'all just have to be more mindful of that. Now, in the name of blatant disrespect, let's go to our next point. This is a great example of the disrespect between CPD and Chirac. It's like a get it back in blood situation, but 12 got them back in cuffs and no bail. Now, both sides, not just in Chicago, but everywhere, have disrespected the other justly and unjustly, between police and the streets and the people. A lot of people became part of the streets because of how they were treated by police. So, we got to get their parts together. But due to disrespect like this, because for them to do it in front of CPD headquarters, they should have just stood out there and stuck up both middle fingers. So due to this disrespect, with disrespect like this and the crime rate, 12 in Chicago has lost one of their scheduled days off due to the Rittenhouse trial. Now, the Rittenhouse trial is actually happening in Kenosha, but we all know that due to media, especially, with the protesting and, the race situations and everything that's involved, if we feel like something was unfair, and especially in this case, it's a race situation, if we feel like the verdict was unfair, a lot of times they burn the cities down, tear it up. So in that case, 12, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other police officers are gearing up to prepare for any type of upheaval that may be impending due to this. So you would think, okay, that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? It might be an upheaval. They need more manpower, but no. The Fraternal Order of Police is saying this some bull. He's saying that, they supposed to give notice before they are told that their next regular day off will be canceled. And he said there was no notice. They just told him, like, y'all lost y'all day. We need more manpower just in case, things go up during after this trial. And he's saying no. So I'm pretty sure he's the president of it, so I'm pretty sure he's not just speaking for himself, he's speaking on behalf of a lot of police officers. And it's like, realistically, 12 already has a hectic schedule. Most of their days are 12-hour shifts. Most, if not all, have some form of anxiety, depression, or PTSD. Same way with Chiracians, same way with the people. And their mental health and well-being is important. So, if we're going to have people out here who's supposed to protect and serve the people, and we need them at in a good mental state, good emotional level, feeling like they're being paid fairly, but at the same time, we expect them to do what they're supposed to do by us. And unfortunately, the route to obtaining that is not black and white. It's not black and white. So, I don't know. Because it's weird, especially with the police. Like, do we want 12 involved or do we not want 12 involved? It's like mixed messages. And I guess maybe it depends on the situation ultimately. Because sometimes you want 12 to get involved, and then sometimes you may have the situation handled yourself and you don't want 12 to get involved. So maybe they should just get involved when it's requested or something. Because it's a lot of stress going on right now with how this city is going to continue to be ran. It's a lot of forums going on and focus groups and a lot of policies being renewed and a lot of mental health and behavior being considered when dealing with the people. And, that part is good. But we need to have it on both sides. We need to have it on both sides to where the people are healing as well, And I don't want to say maybe we should have just like a little weekend purge or something, or maybe just a 24-hour purge and just, have some rules to where, like, Whoever you don't hit within that 24-hour period, whatever beef is no longer after that. And get everybody to try to agree or something and have a little purge or something, and then see how everybody feels after that. And just hit the restart button. Some type of way we got to get to hitting a restart button. Because there is a lot that's going on, and there is a lot of assistance that's needed. Like, a lot of people are going through so much at the same time that they're not even able to really get out and help others like they would like, because they need themselves at this point. But one thing about it, Mama Daddy God gave us the power to govern ourselves. So these times can be a great opportunity for us to just dig deeper into who we are and find that inner healing and find that inner peace, and just do the best that we can in becoming who we want to be and becoming who we really are before we got affected by all this other nonsense. Because no matter what, like Tupac said, even thugs. So at some point, I'm thinking that you would get tired. You would get tired, and you would want to actually see your children grow up and see your grandchildren. That you would want to explore other talents or interests that you may have that may not be of the street. So we believe in y'all selves. And if you want to distract yourself with something awesome sauce, the Lincoln Park Zoo's 27th annual Zoo Lights tickets are now on sale. It opens Friday, November 20th, and it runs through January the 2nd. The tickets are only $5, Wednesday through Sunday. Mondays and Tuesdays are free. Reservations are required. And of course, people, bring your mask. Now, I took the liberty to write down the free nights, and the free nights are as follows: November 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th. December 6th, 7th, 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th. They have sensory friendly visit times, which means that at certain times they will stop the lights, pause the lights, not stop it, pause the lights, pause the music. Because different people have different things going on with them, and some people have sensory issues, and sometimes the light and the music becomes too much. So I think that that's ChiLOVE salute worthy and very considerate of those who want to come and enjoy themselves at the Zoo Lights. Myself and my family absolutely love this time of the year. I love the Zoo Lights. Last couple years we haven't went, but we're definitely going to go back this year. They also have new lighting experience on Main Mall in South Lawn. There are enhancements in the Enchanted Forest experience. And don't miss, which I don't see how you could miss, the 18-foot holiday tree at Pepper Family Wildlife. I hope you all enjoyed the show. We love you all here at the ChiLOVE Radio Show, Pop Radio Worldwide, iHeartRadio, and Spotify Premium. I hope all is well with you. If not, I hope all gets well with you. Let us know if you want to be on the show. If you are a local artist or one who will be in Chicago and want to get your music played, hit me up on Facebook under Melanie Hogan, Melanie Hogan 7 on Instagram, Melanie Hogan on LinkedIn. You will see ChiLOVE everywhere. And if you don't see me, it's not authentic ChiLOVE. But we love you. Hugs, love. Until next time.